Email marketing is your new secret weapon to flipping that autopilot switch in your business to consistently generate sales. Plus, unlike your social media following, you actually own your email list, so you don't have to worry about algorithm changes, a bad month of content, let alone getting banned for who knows what reason. So timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a link to our sales funnel playbook. More on that in a moment. Now, when it comes to email, do people even still read email? Well, according to HubSpot and lots of data points, yes, people are still reading email. All generations are actually reading email. And according to this chart right here, email is going to account for just over $9 billion in sales for 2022 alone. And as you can see from the chart, that shows no sign of slowing down. So when it comes to different areas of marketing, email is definitely one of those that should always be in your top 2 focuses. Now, of course, we need to talk about how do we actually grow an email list. So we'll jump into this simple diagram. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, but it's going to make a whole lot more sense in a moment to show you how to grow your email list and actually turn those new subscribers into customers and stay engaged with people so you have a long-term asset. Now, of course, it starts with where on earth your content is coming from. Obviously, I recommend YouTube. Blogging is also great. And then if you want to run paid ads, that's another thing you can do as well. I'll leave a link in the cards in the description to a full-blown guide that goes through exactly how we use this channel to generate hundreds of organic leads per month using simple calls to action like what I did at the beginning of the video, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a link to our sales funnel playbook. More on that in a moment. And that's all there is to it, to getting people to check out something on your email list. Now, what we're going to do is drive all this traffic to something called a landing page. Now, here are a couple examples of what a landing page could look like. You'll offer a free lead magnet. So this can be a report, audit, checklist, resource guide, even a full-blown webinar if you really want to go over the top. But the point is, we offer something of value to get people to join our email list. After all, just saying, hey, join my list so I can sell you stuff, probably isn't going to work out too well. So jumping back to our diagram, after that, the first email we send out is going to be whatever we promised on the landing page. Then the next 4 to 6 is going to be something called a rapport sequence. Now in this rapport sequence, we're going to sell our product or service, right? So we're going to drive all that traffic to our sales page. If someone buys, then they'll probably go through an onboarding sequence. We'll leave that for another video. Now, irrespective of what people do after they've joined your email list, we're going to put them on our broadcast sequence. So in this guide, we'll go through the rapport sequence, we'll go through the broadcast sequence, and then how to actually write those emails, and of course, how to set all this up from an automation standpoint. Now, of course, after this guide, I'll leave a link in the cards in the description to a full-blown guide that goes through how to actually put together the landing page and a video that goes through some different lead magnet ideas so you don't have to worry about how to actually grow your list right now. Let's just focus on the strategy once you have that email. So obviously, the first email that goes out is going to be delivering whatever you promise for free, and then we're going to use something called a rapport sequence. And this is where we empathize with people's current situation, we energize them to take action, and of course, we expand on the dangers of not taking action. Now, you may be wondering at this point, what the heck does that actually mean? So here's a quick rundown of what these different types of emails could be about. And of course, we'll go through a full-blown example. So of course, the first email here, we sent out the lead magnet. The second one, we're going to talk about something that they're struggling with. And so our product or service solves a problem. So just talk about how big of a problem that actually is if they don't actually fix it. And then of course, just say, hey, by the way, I have this cool, awesome thing that I think you should check out. Then our third email will empathize with their current situation by sharing a story. If you don't have client testimonials or customer testimonials, that's fine. You can point to someone else in your niche who wound up being successful, or you could just share your own personal story of the same type of struggles that they're dealing with and how you were able to overcome them, and how, guess what? You have this awesome product or service that you developed as a result of going through those struggles. Then email number 4 and 5, you're simply going to be a little more salesy here and talk about why your offer is really cool and how it's actually going to help them achieve the results that they're looking for and overcome all of the roadblocks that are in their way. The last thing you want to do is send an email that's just a bullet point list of here's how awesome my product is, right? We always need to tie it back to a situation or a struggle that our current subscribers are actually having. And this is what your first 5 days of someone being on your email list looks like. Of course, you could go up to 7 emails, but after that, you should probably stop trying to sell them. So jumping back over to our diagram here, you can see that we've, of course, collected that email. We've gone through that rapport sequence. Whether they buy or not, we'll leave that for another day. We need to use a broadcast sequence to stay engaged with people. Because after all, if we get them on our list and then we send them 7 emails and then we do nothing, well, we're leaving a lot of money on the table. So here's what we could do with our broadcast list. Now, what's most important here is not every email is a sales email. So the first 7 days, we're like, sell, 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 sell. And then after that, we kind of back off and we go, okay, well, you weren't really interested in that. Then let's try and do some more rapport building and build goodwill. And so to build this goodwill, we could link over to some of our really good blog posts or YouTube videos or content. We could share a personal story of how we overcame a limiting belief. Recent developments work really well too if you just give a quick commentary on something. Obviously, it should be relevant to your niche or industry. Nobody really cares about your political views, right? So make sure that you stick to your actual niche and you don't alienate a bunch of people on your list. Then we can also talk about some big roadblocks that we faced or our clients faced in the past. We're going to use story-based emails here. And then, of course, we could link over to some more content. Now, there's a really common question here. Someone's been on your list, maybe it's been a week, I've had people on my list for years before they've purchased. How often do we get to send promotional emails? Now, as a general rule of thumb, every 3 or 4 emails, you can send some sort of promotion, right? So this is, of course, general. So if you're only sending 1 email a week, then you're gonna have to wait 3 weeks to send a promotional email. So as you can tell, it is advantageous to send at least 3 or 4 emails per week. Although according to HubSpot, after 5 emails a week, people start to get kind of annoyed. But you'll find a good medium for you. And I'll be the first to admit that I am terrible with my broadcast sequence and will sometimes go weeks before I realize like, oh no, I ran out of emails and I need to send some more. So when it comes to the actual technical aspects of how to do this, the good news is you have a lot of free software options. So I'm going to show you what one of our sequences looks like inside of MailerLite. Of course, I'll leave a link in the description below. If you decide to upgrade, we do receive a commission as a way to support this channel. So here's what our landing page looks like for this particular email list. So we offer a free playbook and template library, the one that's linked up in the description. And of course, this helps you grow your own email list with a bunch of free templates. And then they enter their email, and once they do, inside of MailerLite, we have them connected to this email sequence. So you can see we've sent this out a couple of times, and then we have all of our emails here, and these go out automatically. So as soon as someone enters their email here, they're dropped into this sequence. Now I'll go ahead and click to edit the workflow. And as you can see, as soon as someone joins, we send out that first email and we give them exactly what they asked for, right? They said we want the playbook and the free sales funnel templates. And so that's what we send them. And then something is pretty funny. We find a lot of people don't actually open this first email in the first couple hours. And so what we've done here is we say, hey, wait 2 hours. And then if they haven't opened our email for whatever reason, just send it to them again. I seriously do not know why so many people do not open the emails, but they seem to open the second one. And of course, you can get overly complicated and fancy with this, but you really don't need to. And then what you can do is after that first day, you can send an email out each day after that. And so that's what you can kind of see that we do here. And this is just linking over to a product page that we have selling I think this is a $5 offer to just get people in the door and actually get some initial sales after someone's joined our list. And so if you want to learn more about everything MailerLite, I'll leave a link in the cards in the description that takes a super deep dive in how to set this up. You can set this up in one day. It doesn't take a lot of tech, and you can do all of this list growth and nurturing inside of one platform. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this video. Most importantly, you have a much better understanding of this diagram and how all these different components and elements work together and the different types of sequences that you can set up. So hit that like button, check out that link in the description to our sales funnel playbook and template library to create your own sales funnel and of course start growing your own email list. And until the next, keep building the business you love.